The second mistake that I see, and I see it all the time, is taking useless meetings. Your time is so important in this business because every hour that you're not working on the business or trying to meet people is an hour wasted, 2 hours wasted. When you start to do some production, you're going to notice you're going to get calls from lenders, title companies, home insurance companies, inspectors, pool people. You're going to get called from a variety of people constantly that want to meet with you. And they're going to call you and they're going to say, hey, I'd love to take you to coffee. I have something you might be interested in. Will you meet me for coffee? Hey, I'd love to take you to dinner. When you start doing, it always starts with coffee, and then as you start to do more production, then they're going to take you to dinner, right? So, can I take you to dinner tonight? Can I take you to lunch? People want agents' business because agents are the gatekeepers to the clients. But what I see is that people take these meetings all the time. And you know what happens? You go to these meetings and it's the same song and dance. You got a title company telling you that you can download their app and you can see your closing cost projections and you can give this to your clients so they're more informed when they go to the transaction. Okay, yeah, you and every other title company. You meet with a lender, hey, you know, we have these products and programs available. We offer no processing fees, no origination fee. Our turn times are within 15 days right now. It's incredible, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, you and everybody else out there. What are you bringing to the table for me to help me build my business? See, we get the same story after story after story. Inspectors, oh, we give a $50 discount to your clients and this and that and the other thing. And the point of me saying this is that a lot of people that want your time are going to give you the same story. Why on earth would you have lunch with a title rep at 11 or 12 when you should be doing an open house? I had a rule. You want to meet with me? Fine. But it's at 8 a.m. or it's at 4 or 5 p.m. You're not interrupting the middle of my day because I'm prospecting during the middle of the day. With the exception of showing houses on a must-show basis, by the way, too, I was doing an open house. I built my whole career on an open house. And then we built our career on servicing B2B partnerships. But my personal production was built all through open houses. But what I got smarter about was I was done taking these meetings to appease people that I didn't even know. I'd love to take you to coffee, pick your brain. I have something I want to show you. I think it'd be really valuable. Okay, I'll go. And then I go, I waste an hour and a half, and I leave there and I'm like, that was pointless. And it happens time and time and time again. But I can't get that time back. So be very smart about your time. And what I also learned too, this is very important. If I was meeting with somebody, I framed the meeting in time. Meaning, but when I was on the call, if I was interested in that meeting, I would say, sure, I'll meet with you. I have about 30 minutes on Thursday from 9 to 9:30. And you know why I started doing that? Is because a coffee would end up being a 90-minute meeting. You know, because if you 30-minute a meeting, you got to basically get right to the point. Like I'm a no frills, kind of like, I'd hate small talk type stuff because there's always stuff going on. So if you don't time frame that meeting, it always starts with, oh yeah, so where are you from? And blah, blah, blah. Tell me about your personal life and where are you from? And the first 30 minutes are just about your background, stuff like that. Like we're here to talk about business. I'm not here to make a friend, okay? So when I time frame that from the beginning, knowing they know they got 30 minutes of my time. So you better get to work quick. So it was no nonsense. So I could be in and out. 8 to 8:30, I'm out. Was it worth it or not? I don't know. Yes, great. I'll meet with them again if it was worth it. If it wasn't worth it, at least I only gave them 30 minutes. Meetings take a while. You got to drive there. You got to sit there. You got to then drive back. Like a coffee is a 2-hour meeting. So don't think that meeting for coffee is just a little chit chat. It's not. It's your time. Lunch. Why am I having lunch with somebody at 1 o'clock in the afternoon? I need to be out there in the field. I also would have them come to me as well. If you want to meet me, great. Come to my office. I got 30 minutes. We can meet. So that way I didn't have to waste time in the car going to the meeting and coming back. I'm dead serious about this. Because what I found is that I was spending so much time on meetings that, number one, weren't important, they weren't relevant, but the time commitment of those meetings was a quarter of my day. And I can't have that. It's too important. My time's too important. So set expectations from the beginning on your time. Try to get them to come to you. But also, don't be afraid to turn away meetings. Just say, no, unfortunately, I'm not interested right now, but thank you for the call. It's that simple. People feel like they have to be nice to people that they don't know, and you don't. Being nice is just simply saying, hey, I appreciate the call. I'm just unfortunately not interested, but thank you very much. Like, that's being nice. You don't have to take meetings that you don't believe are in your, and if they tell you it will be worth your time, say, great, what do you plan on discussing? And if they stutter and they're trying to find what that is, they don't have a plan for you. If they then say, well, I have this that we're working on and I think you would be a good fit, I just want to run the program by you, because here's the deal. If they don't show up with a plan, they're not worth doing business with. If you're showing up just to try to be likable, I'm not doing business with you. There's a lot of likable people out there. What are you going to bring to the table? So ask that question. Great. I'll meet with you. It sounds good. What will we be discussing? If they can't find the answer to that question, then turn it and say, you know what, I appreciate that, but I'm actually going to pass on this one and hang up the phone. Because they better have a plan. If you're going to meet with me, if they're going to meet with you, cool. Just have a plan of how we're going to work together. But be very cautious of your time, because it's extremely important and you can never get it back. Now, when you take a meeting and it is of value, then let's get into how we can work together. And when you meet with somebody and you're like, okay, I like that person, I like their plan, what can I do for them as well? That's when we start collaboration with good vending partners, lending partners, title companies. Because here's the thing, as an agent, you're gonna have to be resourceful. And so when I say don't take meetings that aren't worth your time, don't hear me saying you don't need partnerships. You gotta have them. And that's how it grows. What I would advise to do is get some referrals from people that, hey, who's a great lending partner? And you're gonna need 3 of them. You know, you have 3 different lending partners that you work with, because some of them have different products and programs, some of them have faster turn times, some of them have low fees. Like, you need a retail partner, you might need a consumer direct partner, you're gonna need lending partners. You're going to need lending partners that specialize in land, that specialize in cash out. You're going to need bank partners, maybe one banking partner that actually is a depository bank, because they have special programs for actual members of that bank. So you got to create these relationships. I don't want you to not hear me say that. You got to have them. In fact, they're so critical because they do lead to more business. But do it with the people that you like, and do it with the people that have value for you too. Inspector, you're going to need a home inspector. Find a great home inspector. Find 2, because if your inspector's busy, always have a fallout guy. You're going to need a great title company. Title is very important. You're going to need a title company that supports you with a listing kit, listing information kit. They're going to be there to open your file, keep you updated on everything. You're going to need a good title company and a good escrow company. You're going to need other resources, like a contractor, a general contractor, one that's reliable. Make sure with any contractor that you recommend and any subcontractor that you recommend, that you know damn well that they're good at what they do. Because that relationship, if they screw up, that is a bad reflection on you. So make sure that you understand, when you start referring others to your clients, it can burn you if you send them somebody that doesn't do a good job. I got to a point where I raised my, title, always recommend my great title companies, lenders, but when it came to contractors, I actually stopped referring. And I said, look, I can give you a couple people to talk to. I'm gonna have you decide who you wanna pick, because when I sent them one person, if that person screwed up, I really looked bad. And so I always gave a couple recommendations on a contractor and said, hey, I'll give you a couple names. You guys pick who you wanna go with, because I don't want that burden on me. And I would recommend doing that in a variety of different vendors too, whether it be pool people, landscaping people, house cleaners. That's what I'm saying. Being resourceful is extremely important. But things that can turn around and potentially burn you, give a couple recommendations and say, I'll let you decide. because then it's not on you. So it is important to meet great people in this business. You have to do it. Just be cautious with your time with the other stuff that isn't worth. Like if I got a great title company, I don't need to go meet with a title rep at all. So when a title rep calls me, I'm good to go. Like, don't whore out your services and who you are to other people if you got great partners that take care of it. Who cares? So a title company is a different tool or another thing, another program. Like, don't even be interested in it. I'm good. Nope, I don't need it. Because here's the other thing that I learned too. I don't want to owe anybody anything. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times people will call you and say, hey, I got tickets to the game tonight. You want to go? I got sweet tickets. Hey, I got this, I got that. Hey, I got a gift card for you for the steakhouse or whatever the case is. When you take something from somebody that you haven't done business with, you owe them one. I don't want to owe anybody anything. So as great as it sounds to get some gifts here and there or somebody to do something nice to try to earn your business, be very careful with that because you don't want to take without giving. So just be smart about that aspect too. But you do have to be resourceful. So meet with people that you can add to your Rolodex of preferred vendors. And when you get those people, great. But be cautious of your time when it comes to meetings because it's not always worth it.